Welcome ladies and gentlemen to my video on the discount Transformers archetype known as Morphtronics. So first thing I'll address is the skill that I think is best for the deck, and the best skill I think for this deck is Level Augmentation. What this skill does is very simple. You reveal one monster in your hand, select one monster on your side of the field, the selected monster's level is increased by the level of the monster you revealed. The reason I think this skill is by far the best for this deck is it nearly guarantees you a Synchro summon on your first turn regardless of your starting hand. It also means that because you've got a lot of level 1 monsters in this deck, that you can kind of just choose which Synchro you want by just adding one extra level to one of your monsters. Alright, now I'll give you a basic rundown of each of the Morphtronic monsters and try to give you a brief example of each of the combos they have. The first is Morphtronic Celfon, which has two effects. Just like all Morphtronic cards, the effect you are able to activate depends on the battle position your monster is in. So with this guy, both effects allow you to roll one 6-sided die and look at the top cards of your deck equal to the result you rolled. The only difference is, if this card's in attack position, you can then special summon one level 4 or lower Morphtronic card from those cards. So this guy's effect is actually really powerful, as once you've used his effect, it's really good at chaining more Morphtronic effects, as you can special summon another Morphtronic monster, then use that guy's effect. And it's also really good at helping you get a Synchro summon out, as especially with level augmentation, you can just change this guy's level to whatever level you like, combine it with the monster you special summoned, and Synchro summon. The next card is Morphtronic Scopen. This is one of the only two tuner monsters you'll be running. This card has two effects. While in attack position, once per turn, you can special summon one level 4 Morphtronic monster from your hand. It is destroyed during the end phase. And the second effect, while in defense position, while this card is face up defense position, it is level 4. So right now I'm going to tell you the big two Synchro monsters that I use in my deck are level 7 and level 8. So with Morphtronic Scopen, when he's in defense position, you can tune him with the other level 4s to get out your level 8 monster. Or you can just use his main effect, which is when he's summoned, you can then special summon something from your hand, combine them together to get out your level 7. The next Morphtronic card is Radion. What this card does is while in attack position, your Morphtronic monsters gain 800 attack, and while in defense position, they gain 1000 defense. So the use of this guy really isn't his effects at all, it's just the fact that he's a level 4 and you really need a level 4 Morphtronic card in the deck, and this is probably the best Morphtronic card you can have in the deck. As without level 4s, Morphtronic Scopen most of the time will be pretty useless. The next Morphtronic is Morphtronic Smartfon. So the first thing to know about this card is that it's very different from the other Morphtronic cards in that the only way you're able to summon it is by banishing one Morphtronic monster from your graveyard. This is also the only other tuner monster you'll be running in your deck. So this guy has two effects. The first, while it's in attack position, you can roll one 6-sided die, excavate that many cards from the top of your deck, add one excavated Morphtronic card to your hand and shuffle the rest back into your deck. The second, while in defense position, you can roll one 6-sided die, look at that many cards from the top of your deck, then place all of them either the top or the bottom of your deck in any order. So this guy's absolutely insane, as 1, he doesn't use up your normal summon, 2, he combos super well with level augmentation, as you can add whichever Morphtronic card from your deck to your hand that you require to get out your Synchro summon with the level augmentation. And 3, he can help you search for the Morphtronic removal spell, which we'll go through later on. Alright, now I'll go over the Synchro monsters and basically the win cons of the deck. So before I go any further, basically I'm going to skip over Stardust Dragon, as basically he's only in the deck because of the amount of U-Bells that are currently out there. There's so many U-Bells since the removal of most of the banish effects and the removal effects from the graveyard, so Stardust is in here just to counter U-Bell. You can replace that with whatever other Synchro monster you like, I just prefer to have him. So the first of the major Synchro monsters is Power Tool Dragon. What this card does is it requires one tuner and one more non-tuner monsters. Once per turn, you can reveal 3 equipped spell cards from your deck, then your opponent randomly adds one of them to your hand and you shuffle the rest back into your deck. If this card will be destroyed while it's equipped with an equipped spell card, you can send one of those cards to the graveyard instead. So this guy's effect is actually pretty simple and self-explanatory. Basically, once you get the equipped spell out, you're equipped to the guy, his attack becomes fairly high, normally around 2800, sometimes higher. This combined with the fact that he can't actually be destroyed is actually really relevant since they removed Amazonas, as banish effects aren't as common anymore, so he can't really be destroyed that easily. Also, the equipped spell you normally equip with this guy is kind of a win con in itself, which we'll go through a bit later on when we go through the equipped spells. The next big Synchro monster is Vylon Epsilon. What this card does is it requires one light tuner monster and one or more non-tuner monsters. Equipped cards equipped to this card cannot be targeted by card effects. Once per turn you can send one equipped card equipped to this card to the graveyard to target one monster your opponent controls to destroy that target. Again, another self-explanatory ability. Normally this guy isn't the one you want to use, as he's not really that powerful on his own, as he'd normally only be able to remove one card at most. So generally you want to get out Powerful Dragon, but sometimes it's better to just get out the Vylon Epsilon as it has more attack. Equipped with another spell card means it will have much more attack. And it can also be very solid removal, if they have something that you simply just can't get rid of. Alright, so now I'll go through the spell and trap cards. So first I'll start with the equipped spells. The first is Double Tool C&D. There's only one copy of this in the deck. This is because this card can only be equipped to a Power Tool Dragon or a level 4 or higher machine type Morphtronic monster. So generally you do not want many of these, as if you draw them, if you don't have Power Tool Dragon, this card will be useless as it can't equip to just about anything in your deck, including the other Synchro monster. Quite literally the only reason I run one copy of this card in the deck at all is because having 4 equipped spells in this deck is a lot more powerful than having 3, as having 4 means you can use Powerful Dragon's effect twice maximum. Also, if it allows you to, if you accidentally draw one of your equipped spells before using Powerful Dragon's effect, you will still be able to use Powerful Dragon's effect as it requires at least 3B in the deck. So just like other Morphtronic cards, this card has 2 effects. The first, during your turn, it gains 1000 attack. If it attacks, any effects of the monster it's attacking are negated. And the second, during your opponent's turn, your opponent cannot select a monster other than this equipped monster for an attack. An opponent's monster that battles the equipped monster is destroyed at the end of the damage step. The next equipped spell is Gravity Axe Grarl. So this card is the real card you're going to be aiming for with your Power Tool Dragon, as it can also be a win con. Basically what this card does is that the equipped monster gains 500 attack, and more importantly, monsters your opponent control cannot change their battle positions. Why is this so important? Well, basically I'll go on to the next 2 cards, Pulse Mines and Windstorm of Etaqua. What these cards do is both of them change your opponent's monsters all to defense position, and combined with this equipped spell, they will not be able to change back. So you can really control your opponent's board until you draw the removal cards you want, or draw whatever cards you like, or just control your opponent and make him mill out. Pulse Mines is obviously the more powerful of the 2 of these cards, as what Pulse Mines does, if you control a machine type monster, you change all of your opponent's attack position monsters into defense position, and until the end of the turn, any monsters that are normal or special summoned will be changed to defense position. Windstorm on the other hand is a lot weaker, but it still does the same kind of thing. Basically use it when your opponent swings at you, you change every single one of their monsters to defense position. And the very last card in the deck is Morphtronic Accelerator. What this card does is it allows you to return 1 Morphtronic monster from your hand to the deck, destroy 1 card on the field, and draw 1 card. So you'll notice I only run 2 of these in the deck and 1 Kuriboh. Basically that's because, since this is all about synchron summoning, it's a bit of a gamble to use this on turn 1, especially because most of the time you'll have 2 Morphtronic cards in your hand. So if you use this, send 1 back into the deck to destroy one of your opponent's cards, you're running the risk of not drawing another Morphtronic and not being able to synchron summon. So normally you don't actually want to have this in your hand on turn 1, which is why I think it's better to run 2 of these and a Kuriboh, as you kind of want the Kuriboh on your first turn. Plus, Kuriboh isn't a bad draw anyway, and this card, it's better to draw later on. Alright guys, that's finally it for the talking part of this video. The rest of this video will just be gameplay showing this deck in action. If you liked the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, sponsor me if you're feeling generous. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.